out of a game like this where it's obviously?
That's tough to say. What we told our kids before we went out there was that, you know, we didn't really know. I mean, I knew that it was a rebuilding year for them, and we'd seen them play this summer, so we knew they didn't have a lot of talent, and they were young, and we were arguably one of the better teams in the state, so we figured there might be a lopsided margin. But you can't enter a game and disrespect yourselves or your opponent by coming out there nonchalant. You won't play well. And so I don't think we did that. I think we came out and played really hard. We pressed the whole first quarter. And I felt a little bit bad about it. We got to get going here. You know, we got to take care of our stuff first. And so we did that in the first quarter, and then we didn't back off the pressure in the half court, but we didn't press anymore the rest of the game. We even played some 2-3 zone. What did we get out of it? I thought our kids handled themselves really well. You know, we weren't doing any hot dogging or anything. We were just playing. So I felt good about that.
Is that a tough balance for you as a coach to strike when you got to worry about getting your guys better, improving, and you're beating a team by 70? I mean, how do you decide when it's time to pull somebody?
Well, it's a tough thing because if I pulled Romeo every time we were up 20,
right,
and then I pulled him a quarter every game, and you play 22 games. I'm not real good at math, but he'd be sitting out 3 or 4 games, and we're not going to do that.
Right.
He came to New Albany for 4 years. He could have gone to a prep school or anything like that and played he would have played the whole game because the competition probably would have necessitated it, although sometimes they play games where they're way ahead, and I don't know what they do. I don't watch them. But here, I feel like I got to let him play. He's chasing, the all-time scoring record. He's trying to get to 3,000. And I don't have to worry about him seeking that because he's not like that. That's my job to leave him in long enough to let him get a feel for the game and get his point, so to speak. I would much rather him score 48 or whatever against a really high-caliber top 10 team, and I know he would too. And he did that a couple of years ago against Southport, and he's done it many other times. So it is a tough balance because I worry about him getting hurt. I worry about us running the score up on people. But by the same token, he stayed here for 4 years. I'm not going to put him on the bench. And then, have people in the community say, well, shoot, if he's just going to bench him every time we get ahead, he should have gone somewhere else. He stayed here, so I'm going to play him. But we certainly aren't trying to run the score up or anything like that.
Romeo, you said you didn't know how many points you had?
No, sir.
No. Tell me about your game tonight.
Felt like I had an off night shooting the ball wise, but I did other things like rebounding, draw fouls on the offensive end, and shoot layups, and all that matters is that we won. So that's the good thing about it.
When you're out there and everybody knows who you are, and sometimes that involves physical play, how do you balance that? How do you play through that?
I'm kind of used to it now. I've been dealing with that all for years. People try to rough me up, so it's just really nothing. I mean, they try to get to me, but it really doesn't get to me.
As a player, when you're dominating a team like that, I mean, is it tough to stay into the game, or do you just approach it like any other game when act like it's a close game?
Approach it like any other game. Like every game's a big game, no matter who we're playing. Just like coach, like in halftime, even though we're up, he told us to go out there and start warming up like we're down by 5, and that's how I felt like our team played today. We didn't play like we were up by 30 or however many points where we kept on playing hard like it was a close game.
Sean, you've been around a while. How do you characterize this team so far?
I think if we buckle down on defense, I mean, we can be one of the best teams that's come to New Albany. And I mean, with Romeo scoring like this and doing this, I mean, I think we can be real good.
It's a new mix of kids, though, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Every year's different.
That's the first time we had 2 bigs that started since I've been here. I don't know how long it's been with Coach Shannon, but it's the first time we've had 2 bigs, Julian and Trey, starting. And it's working out, but it's the first time we got to get used to it. And sometimes it hurts our pressing, but we just got to get Trey on the floor running and jumping because that's the type of team we are.
What did you think about Sean's play?
I thought he played great. I thought he really ran the floor well, ran the point well. He got the ball to Romeo a lot, and he knows that's his job. I don't think he missed 2 shots. really playing well offensively. He defers to Rowe a lot, and it takes a special kind of person to do that, but they're tight. I mean, they're very close. And he knows in the big games when we play against, Fort Wayne North, and Bloomington South, Floyd Central, he knows Rowe's going to be able to go against the best anybody's going to throw at us. We're going to need to rely on him in those kind of games. So tonight he was feeding him, even though we really could have got 15 points out of him when we should have handled the team that we played. But we want to play every night like we're playing against top caliber teams, and it's just an absolute joy and blessing to get to coach kids like this, because as good as they are, you saw no flamboyance out there tonight. And that's a credit to their parents and how they've raised them, and a credit to our program and how we go about doing things. I'm pushing him to get as many points as he can get. I mean, that's my job to do that. So 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we can look back on it and say, hey, this is what happened, this is what we did. But he never thinks about that. I told him to take one more shot there in the game, and then he was coming out. He didn't like what he had out there, so he passed to Sean, and Sean hit the three, and then I told Sean to foul so I could get him out of the game. It is a tough balance because, like I said, I'm not trying to run the score up. I'm trying to get Rowe his minutes and his opportunities to score his points. But all he and Sean care about is winning the state and playing together. And so last year he did it a lot, where he would have an opportunity to score even more points than he already had, and he'll pass it to the kid that just came in the game to try to let him, because he knows he's been sitting over a while. And it's just the kind of person that he is. He doesn't care about the Damon Bailey thing. I might be the only one that does, but he doesn't care.
Do you care about it? You care about it?
Yeah, I care about it. Absolutely, 100%. I care about it.
See anything you didn't like tonight? Did you see anything you didn't like?
I'm sure. Yeah, you see me barking out there. I'm sure there was stuff I didn't like. I thought we allowed too much dribble penetration. I'm trying to get 6, 7, and 8 to come along. We need bench. We need our bench, and so we're going to try to bring those kids along. I think they can help us, so we're going to keep working on that. But yeah, it's a tough balance. But these kids, like I said, they just make it an absolute joy to coach them, and it's a fine line how long to leave him out there. I don't want to get him hurt either, and I kept telling him, be real careful about going in there. He's being aggressive tonight. He was going to the rim, but I said, be careful, because a lot of times kids don't mean to, but they have no idea how to guard you. You're way up here. They can't play up there, so they get under your legs and stuff. And that's the last thing we want. So I kept telling him, pull up and shoot. He pretty much does whatever he wants offensively.
Another tough game in a couple days, Jim. Talk about Bloomington.
Bloomington South's very good, obviously. I don't know how they did tonight, but we'll get home and get that tape up on Huddle and start going to work on it. We'll stat this one tonight, and then we'll get ready for Bloomington South tonight. So we're going with the plan tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to get ready for them. But we're looking forward to it very much.
That's been a good rivalry over the years.
Mm-hmm. It has been. They beat us the first 6 times we played. We won the last 6, so we're 6-6.
What do you do with your kids on Thanksgiving? Is there any team activity, or is it all family?
We practice.
Team activity practice.
Just
for an hour. Just for an hour and a half, varsity only.
Mm-hmm.
And it's early enough that they can get to where they need to go. Because I know there's other things more important than basketball, but we got to play Saturday, and I've never had a complaint in all the years I've coached practicing on Thanksgiving. So it's just hard to take that whole day off and them go eat and lay around all day watching football or whatever. So we won't go hard, but we'll practice to get a lot of shots up and that kind of stuff.
When you guys leave this room, there's going to be a long line of kids out there waiting for his autograph, and from talking to his dad and different people, he stays here and signs every autograph every time you guys play a game. What does that say about him, the person, that he's willing to, that he does that? It's important to him.
Well, I told you, his skill set's a blessing to coach, but his mindset's a blessing to coach also, and his family is responsible for that. He'll stay and sign every one of them. And again, it's not just him and his family. Think about our other kids that pretty much got to sit around and wait. And it just takes special unity, and it takes that jealousy-free zone, if you will. And we have that at our school. The kids know how I feel about him. They know. I mean, it's just the way that it is. He's an All-American. We're going to him. He's going to stay and sign autographs. His mom and dad have made it adamant that they want him to be a community person. They want him to be a great person off the floor, get his academics, and do all those kinds of things. You're seeing 1 in a million, absolutely 1 in a million in today's world, 1 in a million. And that's why I'm saying that the record's important to me, the points are important to me, because he's as good as ever came out of our state. Oscar and all of them. He's as good as any of them, if not better. And so it's my job to let the kid play, and I'm going to.